Oh, okay. Should I just do it? I'm in the elevator.
Yeah, why not? It'll echo.
Alright, we are tWoTcast! Episode, 250.
Alright, everyone shut the f*** up.
Wheel of Time. Reread podcast. Explicit and R freaking rated. Jono's the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's a total dick. Tom calls in if he's not too busy. We are tWoTcast!
You're listening to tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time read podcast. First time I got that right now, covering Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time, Book 1, The Eye of the World. With me is Jono. Joe.
Hey, Tom.
I'm surprised you said hello yet. Such a bad day. And I'm Tom, study your math.
I wasn't going to say hello because I had a bad day.
You had a bad day.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, I also had a bad day.
Is it because you're in quarantine?
No, I've just had some weird shit going on in life.
Got a lot. I've had a lot going on today. It's been an enormous hassle getting over here just to have fun and have a few drinks and record tWoTcast.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing it now. It's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Joe's wearing
Oh no, we're turning it the fuck around. Oh yeah, I'm wearing an Ireland jersey.
Let's get drunk.
Oh, that was a good Irish jig song you did there.
Oh, nice.
Wait, if I said Irish jig, I don't need to then say song, right? A jig is a song.
Well,
or is a jig a dance?
A jig is a dance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it was that right then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's correct. Tom is correct. As he always is.
I mean, what do you guys want to talk about for small talk? Because it seems like...
We can talk about shitty days.
I think we could talk about the fact that we are recording even though everyone's in quarantine and COVID-19 is freaking everyone out.
COVID-19.
I was gonna talk about the potentially biggest news of all time in space that's about to happen, possibly within the next couple of hours.
Oh, really? And what is that?
Tom Brady's gonna sign with a team besides the Patriots. Who cares about a fucking disease?
Oh, I don't care. We don't care. We're recording.
He's going to Tampa Bay, is what it looks like.
The key is that it's not the Patriots. Also, I don't care about sports things. Why are we talking about sports things?
In fairness, guess what? As a MLS fan and other soccers, my own games
and other
canceled.
soccers.
I have a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
It got canceled 3 hours ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. Whatever will you do?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Well, you're not supposed to gather with more than 15 people, Jono, and there's 11 people on a
It's
soccer
a 7-on-7. It's a small side game.
7-on-7 is 14. That's borderline at best.
Where'd you get this 15 number from?
I don't know. I think I heard it on the news.
I think he heard 50 and just misheard it.
Oh, was it 50?
Yeah, it is.
I'm pretty sure it's 10.
Oh yeah, they've changed that too. Yeah.
Wait, is it not? So 15 was mildly accurate, depending on where I heard it, which I don't know, so it doesn't matter.
Joe, what are you gonna do when they tell you it's less than 3?
I guess I'll
will you leave the house, or will you put the baby in a bassinet?
No, you just
down the river?
you put the baby in the bassinet and send it down the river. Obviously.
Real quick, it's fewer than 3, not less. Fewer.
I mean, me and Lauren...
You put a note on the bassinet down the river that just says, "Please don't pick me up if there's more than one of you."
Looking for single parent only.
Exactly true. That's exactly true. If it gets that low, then I'm gonna take Violet and put her in a backpack like Lone Wolf and Cub and go fend for my survival in the wilderness.
I was gonna
That's
say, we're
a lot going on in your words. Are you drunk already?
Close to you
Yeah.
putting her in a rocket to crypto.
Hold on, Tom. Let's go back to Joe.
I kind of like that.
Tom, Joe,
Who would have ever thought we'd send babies to Krypton? But that's where we're at.
Joe's tripping over his words, Tom.
Well, I mean, who doesn't?
That was all right. You know what? Never mind. That was good. It was good English. Never mind. I apologize.
I mean, sometimes I trip on my words, and sometimes I don't.
Glad it's my intro. I've got great recaps for the chapters.
Oh, fantastic! Because you know who doesn't? Me.
They're really not great.
Because among other things, I didn't finish my reading.
They'll come to the basics.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, because it's St. Patrick's Day, you're Irish. Joe's probably Irish too, if I were to guess, and I've got a fucking red beard, and I'm kind of Irish too.
How many Irish? How much Irish you got in your Jenna?
How many Irish?
How many Irish descendants do you have?
I don't have a clue. I clearly just have skink.
Well, you don't have any descendants, but the other one.
Yeah.
Ancestors.
I can't wait to watch Joe. I may have to take your keys tonight. Oh.
No, that's not happening.
Don't worry, your wife...
I'm definitely driving home drunk.
Your wife is fine with that, I think. It's... Anyway... Yeah, just cut that off the podcast. Joe's getting a divorce.
I mean, possibly.
But no, not true. We love you.
Yeah, sorry.
It's not true.
Wait, I didn't mean to trick our viewers into thinking that I had marital problems.
Anyway,
I'm not really enjoying this podcast.
Everything's fine,
Man,
Tom.
My
bad day didn't have anything to do with Lauren.
How are you not? Are you working from home?
Yeah, we just started today. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I was
But you
weirdly
still have to have a 3
scheduled to work from home
meeting?
today anyway, and then they made the call like last night around midnight.
guess who's not working from home despite the fact that all my job can be done from home?
Jono.
Thank you. Good guess.
I was scheduled to work in Stamford, Connecticut this week, and then I got sent a questionnaire Sunday night that I had to fill out at like 7:30. It's like, have you had the flu in the last 3 weeks? I was like, well, yes.
Well, who hasn't?
And then everyone freaked out. They're just like, well, then you can't come. And I'm like, oh, no.
Well, I guess I'm gonna stay home and get drunk on St. Patrick's Day and do tWoTcast.
I have been sick for like 3 weeks, so I probably shouldn't go anywhere.
I feel like you are probably the most targetedly obvious bad person for this virus.
Tom smokes like 1,000 cigarettes a day. Upper respiratory disease would kill him in a heartbeat.
Well, we wish you would go, but okay.
Your middle name might be ARDS. Like acute respiratory debilitation system. Yeah, that's me.
Actually, the debacle at work about whether it was going to be shut down or not was basically the impetus of my horrible day. And then it compounded with Lauren was also working from home as a teacher and weirdly had a lot of meetings. So I'm jumping in between meetings with my job and jumping in between handling the kid while Lauren's in meetings, and I got no work done. And no reading done, and more importantly, no reading for tWoTcast done, which is very upsetting.
Well, I think you've read the book before. I went for a run today.
What the fuck?
What?
How was it?
Wait, hold on. Start over.
Yeah, start.
How many feet did you get?
I refuse to speak about it again. I went out running today. That's all you need to know about
17 feet. 17 feet. And then you fell over wheezing? How many feet? 27 feet.
Tom, I want you to know that I've got an image of you doing it. You get about a quarter mile, you're shirtless. You got that fucking communist tattoo fire. I don't know why you're shirtless where the fuck you are.
First of all, Jono, let's not kid our viewers. It's not a communist tattoo. It says fuck communism.
No, I know. And I apologize. I see it in my own mind.
It also says fuck Cyclops on the back in big block letters.
Yeah, that's good.
So I just see you sprinting a quarter mile and slowly just ending and slower and then just being done after that.
No, I'm just starting to get back into shape, so I only went half a mile today. Well, I walked 2 miles.
No, holy shit, that's amazing.
I walked 2 miles and ran half a mile.
Hey, I'm very happy for you.
Listen,
Yeah,
I know we're being assholes, but that's very good news. Good. I'm proud of you.
Hey, what's your sperm count at?
How would I know that?
0.
The answer is what's in your mouth.
4 drops, so 3 sperm.
I really should have said what's in your mouth. How did I not? You know what? I've had a few shots of whiskey at St. Patrick's Day. I guess I'm not as sharp as I should be.
Hey, you know what? Good job, Tom. I'm proud of you for running and doing something that's not killing your body.
Again. Ask me again.
Hey, what's your sperm count?
I don't know.
Hey, it's all that whiskey slowing his wits.
You missed a real nice fucking message from your brother and from me. We're fucking happy. That's awesome, man.
It is really good.
That's great. Joe's come out to soccer a few times the last few months.
We've been walking and running for the last 2.5 months. I just had to take a break because I had the fucking flu for 3 weeks / the coronavirus.
Speaking of soccer, Jono, I need to get back out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've come out a few times.
It was the fall, Jono.
A few months?
It was the fall when I last played soccer. It's now the spring.
You can have a slight cough and you can't go to work. It's like everything I've ever dreamed of.
I know, it is kind of amazing.
It is the perfect time for people like us.
Well, the frustrating thing with my job is that they were waiting to pull the trigger on whether or not we would stay home or work from home or go into the office, and I'm I can work from home every day of my life for the rest of eternity. Like, why is this even a question of, why are we even talking about it? Just send me home.
Yeah, I had to leave a few employees behind a week ago. And
Are they dead?
they're just like, why are they sacrificing us? I'm like, it's not a sacrifice, you'll be fine. But I'm just like, it's not going to last like another week. They're going to shut everything down by Sunday at the latest, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, so my job.
I can't believe you left people behind, Tom.
Yeah, clearly not a Marine.
It's very unpatriotic of you.
Yeah.
It was girls, too.
You left the women and the children?
Well, they shouldn't have been there.
You pushed over a small pregnant woman to jump into the lifeboat by yourself?
Good job there, Titanic.
They've called me the last 2 days in a row, and they're like, what are we supposed to do? What can we do to get out of here? And I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm home because I have a slight cough. So
you should have said that exact thing. Call them in the morning and tell them you have a slight cough. They'll send you home.
There is that.
You should have been
I can't technically advise anyone to do that.
That's true.
Really.
Yeah.
You could cough in their faces.
They should be able to figure that out on their own.
Yeah, well, they're women, though.
Anyway, I'm glad this is all recorded.
Yeah. Enough. Well, you didn't say anything bad.
Well, I did.
Did you?
I said something
about
sexist.
your job?
Yeah. No, not about my job. No.
Well, I mean, legally bad for your position at work.
Oh, no.
I mean, I don't care. Our viewers don't give a fuck if we say horrible things to them about horrible things.
They're okay with sexist things? I thought we edit those out every time.
Oh, yeah, I edit everything sexist you say out of the podcast. Nothing ever hits the internet.
This is where I get out my sexism, racism, and everything else. I just yell how much I hate women.
Every horrible thing you've ever said never actually gets onto the podcast.
I yell how much I hate women, how much I hate certain minorities. Caucasians!
No one's ever heard that.
These are all edit points, Jono.
That stays in this room, Jono.
Okay.
This is a safe place. Nothing ever gets out.
Good.
I honestly thought we'd be a lot harsher about this disease. I'm pretty proud.
I mean,
I guess I'm actually not. I'm the opposite of that.
I'm disappointed.
You're sad?
I thought we'd be really offensive about people dying from a disease for the first at least 15
In fairness to us, not enough have died yet.
Yeah. The death toll hasn't gotten high enough for me to be callous enough to it.
Yeah. It's just,
It's not funny until people start dying.
It's not funny.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of humor? It takes time.
It's not funny. You gotta keep it. You gotta get it.
Yeah.
It has to get higher for it to be funny.
That's actually true. Somebody that has a cold is not hilarious. 1,000 dead people. Now that's funny.
You know who said that? That Hitler guy.
I thought it was Churchill.
Like on 9/11, I was like, what are the chances of 2 horrible pilots in one day?
Yeah. Ends up, there are several.
Gotta fire the teacher of that flight school.
And that was like the day of, so the joke went over really well.
You know what? If you don't cut this, that might be the thing that kills us. Those 9/11 jokes.
Never forget.
That might be it.
Never forget, John.
I love the idea of getting hit by a 9/11 bad joke 20 years later in the middle of a pandemic that kills triple that.
Joe, I'll tell you who forgot to never forget. Those guys definitely forgot how to fly that plane.
Can't wait to listen to this bleeped out everything.
9/11 never forgot.
Never forget how to fly a plane, not into a building.
They must have forgotten how to fly a plane today.
Very ironic titling. Not great.
Do we have anything else?
I think that's good enough.
Well, no, I think they should have just changed it to 9/11. Always remember not to fly into a plane. I mean, into a building. I fucked that up.
Never forget to not fly a plane into a building.
Maybe never forget should be just do forget. Like, just don't do that.
Should be never forget. Do we even have to say it?
Yeah.
Well, I think we changed the subject from coronavirus quite well.
Anyway, spoiler warning, the 2 towers came down, and so this is our episode covering The Eye of the World, written by Robert Jordan, chapters 28 through 31.
You know what's funny? When he said the 2 towers, I immediately thought of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It didn't even connect. I'd already moved on. And when you said Tolkien, I was like, exactly.
I'll tell you who didn't.
Wait, he's not talking about Tolkien.
Those families did not move on.
Chapter 28, the knave is amazed by Whitebridge, and then we get a traveling to Whitebridge montage. And then I kind of just wrote villagers attack the Vale for some reason. The moist is afraid of land. They decide to go after Perrin.
Wait, the villagers attack what?
Bail Doman.
They went after Bail Doman,
right.
And
Okay.
the spray.
And the spray.
So, as Tom alluded to,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good cum jokes in this chapter. The spray.
I mean,
And
the
then-
White Bridge itself.
Yeah, White Bledge is kind of like a milky glow.
Yeah, Bledge is mookly.
He was not supposed to hear that. I've had a few trucker Irish car
What is
bombs.
happening?
Irish car bombs.
Wait, are you drunk?
Oh, Jono's pretty drunk, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I mean, it's St. Patrick's Day, guys. Come on. What do you think?
Happy St. Patty's Day!
Is that supposed to...
I don't know.
Santa?
That's just how he sounds. That's just how
okay.
Tom sounds.
Because he does have white beard because he's ancient. So yeah, there's some good cum jokes here. So I love, by the way, that there's a real quick reference to the third chapter here. Pretty much Nynaeve's block is literally just described.
Oh, okay.
Against her will, Nynaeve had found herself thinking of what her wisdom could do with the one power.
Yeah.
What she could do.
Yeah.
Whenever she realized what was in her head, though, a flash of anger burned it out. The power is a filthy thing. She would have nothing to do with it.
Wait,
Unless
so
she-
the anger burns it out, but when she's... That's almost like the opposite, though, because like later on when she's mad is when she can channel.
And then she says again, unless she had to. So she only gets mad because of how much
So
she needs
she
it.
only channels when she's really mad about how much she needs to channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well that makes sense.
So there you go.
It's
Chapter
like a
3.
double negative, but it makes sense, though.
It's the block.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks
I
for
didn't
coming
realize,
by.
I didn't realize that was so explicitly laid out there.
It's like a double block.
Kind of.
You know, they call that.
If it's a double negative, can't she shouldn't just be able to channel at will.
She does.
Yes.
Oh, well, there we go.
Just later. Won that
nailed
one. Yeah.
Perfect.
I think it's a little more obvious that she has feelings for Lan in this chapter.
No, she's just blushing because she's dumb.
No, it's a little more obvious. She blatantly says like, "Oh, it's kind of upsetting how I'm so mad that he can upset me so easily," and like little things like little notes like that happen.
I haven't been to high school
She
in a while.
wants Moraine gone, but Lance, he's
Yeah, she's like, "I wish they would both leave, except for Lan. A warder would be very useful." I'm so mad that I think that's true.
That's not both, by the way. That's only one of them.
Yeah, she changes her mind 2 seconds.
Oh, I know.
later.
No, I'm not
That's
telling
what
that to you. I'm
say.
telling that to Nynaeve.
Oh, you're telling to Nynaeve.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom, you forgot to say it was a Nynaeve chapter. It's obvious.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
What about Moraine? Is this still like Moraine being like mildly overpowered here? In the sense of like she can sense their emotions because they had a strong emotion?
I've got.
Or is it because they used to have a token from her?
It's the latter. It's the token thing that actually allows her to have that.
That makes
pickup.
that token thing even more ridiculous, though.
And they actually use that spell. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then suddenly
Okay.
Snape's there in his
Very
grandmother's
popular.
clothes.
Yeah. Fuck you, Boggart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting chapter.
Can you all hear me?
Can you all?
Wrong movie, Jono. What's wrong with you?
We went from 3 to 2.
Yeah, but I thought that was a little strange. I was like, what? She can sense that they were here. I like the idea that she knows that they were there and she knows for sure that they were alive and that they fled alive and like everything's fine theoretically, so therefore they're like, okay, we're good to go after Perrin now. Because even if they went like northwest, east, or south,
right?
like they'll still eventually head to Camelin because they'll remember Camelin or
Yeah.
whatever.
What were you saying, Tom?
It's because they gave Tom the coins.
No, they didn't. They gave it to Bail Doman.
They pulled their money.
No.
No,
Bail
yeah,
Doman.
they paid Bail Doman with them.
Yeah.
And then when Bail Doman paid him back, he didn't return them.
What did they do, John? You got it right. They did be giving their coins to Bail Doman.
They did get those.
They do be, yeah.
Yeah. My old grandmother did give them the money. They do that.
Your old grandmother or your aged grandmother?
Aged. My olded.
No, so that brings up a good question because I'm waiting to hear it said out loud. Is it aged or aged?
I said that and you guys attacked the shit out of me.
What?
Yes.
When?
Aged.
Yeah, that's what I think. What do you think?
Aged.
Aged.
I think it's age.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's aged.
So, yeah, guess what? We're attacking the shit out of you again.
Damn it!
That's like,
I jumped right into that.
You mean you fell right into it? Or you
I literally
leapt into it, like knowingly?
I leaped into that.
I leap it into it.
yeah, you fell it right into that.
You fell it right in there.
So, by the way, here's a question. And so I like the idea of the coin magic as long as it was used later on.
Is it close-up magic?
Coin.
Yeah, it's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's a lot. It's very similar to what Tom does. I mean, Tom Maryland.
It's Tom on the show.
Whoa. I can do close-up magic too.
No, you can't, Tom.
No,
Don't fuck with the
Yeah, I
viewers.
can.
What interests me here, though, is like it almost takes away the whole point of reconnaissance. Like, why not have it so like instead of, hey, clearly they didn't die here, and then people did not see death. Mm-hmm. It seems like just unnecessary to have.
Oh, like why did they ask questions?
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't sure that she was going to randomly walk into an inn and like feel their essence or whatever.
But once they did, why have Lan already asked the questions?
Hadn't Lan already asked the questions?
He was going. Okay, he'd ask questions elsewhere, but it just seems like it's duplicate. Like, why not have it either be?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe he could. Well, she only has an impression that they're still alive. Lan could have figured more information out, like, oh, they ran that way, or you know what, or something. I'm just saying, like, getting an actual question and answer from a bystander that saw it happen is a little bit more than like, I feel that they're alive.
I'd rather that though. It feels duplicative and like overly leaning on magic.
Oh, you mean just as an author? Like, why did he have to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were questioning the character's motivations.
No, that's.
Oh, okay. That's a different answer.
I have no issue with it.
Yeah, I don't really either. I guess
Then why are we talking about it?
because Jono brought it up and he wanted to talk about it. Dummy.
All right, fine. Tom, we'll change topics.
Oh, great.
Let's talk about.
Are we gonna talk about Lan drinking ale?
No,
He drank Aiel.
Not yet.
It's different. It's a different drink.
We're gonna talk about the fact
they
that
chop up Aiel and they put it in a blender.
I don't feel like Lan drinks a lot later in the books.
I don't think he doesn't almost ever drink, I think, later.
I think he has a cup of wine a few places, like when he.
Well, they drink wine like water, though, so like it doesn't mean anything when they drink wine. It's like when they drink 8 gallons of wine, like Matt does, that it's a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. It struck me a little bit.
I want to talk instead about Whitebridge.
Maybe he was trying to befriend them with his stony-faced smiles.
I love that.
Like, I'll have a beer with these guys. Look, guys, I'm one of your bros. And then he drinks a beer, and they're like,
Staring them down.
do you know how to drink a beer?
How's it going, fellow tavern drinker?
Hello, fellows.
Have you seen any young boys recently?
And like with zero smile, just deadpan. Hello, I enjoy ale.
Alcohol soothes the nerves. Do you like young boys? I'm looking for a couple.
I'm looking for two in particular.
This is delicious. Have you seen a young boy? More than one, for sure.
And they're like, no, but there's a weird guy with no eyes and a black cloak. Oh.
He comes back to the table with Marina and Dave. He's like, no one's seen anything.
I asked as many questions as I could. There's fucking nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing out of these guys. I don't know what the deal is. Can't be my stony demeanor.
So,
hello, fellow traveler. Young ass? Young ass, anyone? No? Another beer, maybe?
How about we have a few more ales together?
Earthen Crock is what I drink from.
You know what's funny is that an ale is, I mean, assuming it's like beer and wine today, less alcoholic than wine.
Yeah, we know.
So if they drink wine like it's normal, like why does anyone drink ale? Is it cheaper?
Is it cheaper?
Shit? Is it like Budweiser?
To get drunk? Yeah, it is Budweiser.
Oh, okay.
Well, first off, it depends, because we saw earlier that Master Elvire has some pretty good ales. He's got some pretty good.
Well, that's because I mean, he doesn't have good. Does he have good ales, or does Tam bring him good brandy?
Both.
Also, craft ales from the Two River.
Yeah, yeah. Why is?
Oh yeah, we're talking about the difference between like Anheuser Brewing Company and like a small brewery.
Everybody in the Two Rivers is a fucking hipster.
Yeah.
He's
They're
just
all
called
just
it
twirling their mustaches.
Tamheiser Brewing. He's just sitting there fucking like, he's got that fucking annoying ass mustache. But I want to talk to you about
He's
this.
got one Clydesdale named Bella.
Oh, I like it. It's way too happy about that one.
You were. It was a really bad
Let me go back to my White Bridge goddamn reference.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Cumbridge, got it.
So, Cumbridge.
You can't slip on that. Sticky. Very sticky.
So, it's clearly an Age of Legends holdover, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most of the geographical things these days did not exist 3,000 years ago. What happens?
Meaning, like, there
wasn't a river there, probably. Or the river may have been different.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Maybe this is the one river that was.
I just feel like that's a weird kind of thing.
That is a little weird.
Because everything has been shaken.
You're not wrong there.
I feel like that was.
It could be. I mean,
malleable.
It could be
like
post.
Longer,
no, I'm
wider.
just saying, no. I'm just saying it could be post breaking.
Maybe it's one of the things that held the world together.
That's very weird, but possible. That's an interesting idea. I don't know.
There's just
what's your idea? What's your answer for your theory?
Oh, I don't have one. I just feel like it's almost something that just kind of exists because it exists, and it wasn't really thought of deeper.
Maybe similar to the way that the most powerful Aes Sedai at the time, Liz Theron, died drawing like balefire onto himself and creating the gigantic volcano mountain.
Yeah.
Maybe the most prolific masturbator of the Aes Sedai was on one side of a river, jerked off until he died, and created the White Bridge.
Just create, I like it.
Just drinking as much as you can.
Well, I was gonna say is like. Never mind. That doesn't really hold up.
Stalactites to come hanging down.
I was going to talk about author Archer Pendrag's statue, but that's later, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I would assume that not every fucking continent and piece of Earth on the planet got ripped asunder.
No, it did. It all did.
No, it didn't reshape the entire planet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because there were male channelers everywhere.
Yeah, I understand that.
Everywhere.
I understand they were everywhere. There's no way that the entire surface of the planet altered and changed 100%.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it did. Liz Theron shot balefire into the crust of the Earth and reshaped the plates.
Because Whitebridge exists, so there's evidence that it didn't.
So your whole point is...
I mean, rock solid power gum will hold anything together.
I'm just saying, I don't think every single thing changed. I think a shitload of it changed, but I'm just saying
not every single thing. I don't mind that idea.
All I'm saying is maybe there's 17 more White Bridges on the bottom of the goddamn ocean. You know what I'm saying? But this is like a White Bridge that happens to run over a river still.
What, Tom?
Obviously, some things hold up their steadings.
Yeah.
And guess where some of them
they had to find them. They had to refine them.
Like 5 feet in diameter.
Some of them are underwater. Some of them are
but they had to refine them, so that obviously they shifted and moved.
Well,
so
the whole point is there wasn't a steading though is a bubble of say 80 square yard or 80 square acres, right? 80 acres.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's fine.
Are also held steady with cum. Did you ever think about that?
That could be, but so that's 80 square fucking acres or 80 acres everywhere. It can move left, right, north, south.
Oh yeah. No, I get it.
But the White Bridge is literally.
Straddling a river. It makes sense. Yeah. I understand your question. I'm just saying clearly because of this single structure.
Well, we know this. Wait a minute. We know this is bullshit because guess what? Where's that water comes from? It comes from the mountains of mist. What's halfway up the mountains of mist? Sandhills. And what do they have? The sandhills are filled with fucking water
So maybe it was built
fossils.
Maybe it was built just post Age of Legends, though. That's what I'm saying.
That's a thing.
Just
but
post,
they keep talking about how
the Age of Legends is technically over, and it's really like the next age technically, but it's like 2 years into the next age or whatever.
I'm going to start a blog called White Bridges and Lie.
I mean, this is a weird, interesting point you're making. I have nothing to say other than it exists, so clearly it exists for a reason.
Anyway, that's all.
You don't need to be frustrated.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just
All right.
like, I'm fascinated by it, and I'm wondering almost kind of like.
I'm only taking devil's advocate because it's in the story, so clearly there must be some explanation. Maybe it wasn't thought through by the author very much, and therefore, poses some problems, which you're bringing up right now. But that doesn't mean it can't like logically fit with the overall story. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
If only we had a fully functional Discord channel.
If only we had a fully functional Discord channel to discuss this with.
Just throw it out there and see how little responses we get, because we just turned that on.
We have a partially functional Discord channel.
Do it. Just say, hey, is white British?
I mean, I think it's pretty shockingly functional after only being up for like a couple of days.
I haven't looked at it yet.
Is white bread made of cum?
That's not what we're asking, Tom.
2 question marks?
I think that's exactly what we're asking. I think
That is exactly what I'm asking. So the key to this entire chapter is that they decide to go towards Camelin and Perrin and not wherever Rand and Matt theoretically have gone.
They decide to go into the woods.
Well, they're going to what? Land and Moraine and
go into
Nynaeve?
the woods, and everybody else goes to camp. Like they assume the other guys are going to camp. So they go to the woods.
Yeah, they go after Perrin,
Into the wild.
assuming that everyone else will be heading towards Camelin where they can catch them up.
Feels like a great segue for chapter 29. I wrote, and here.
Wait, Tom. Jono, put your phone down. We can't hear him talk when you're facing the microphone towards your body. What are you doing, you dummy?
I respond.
Go on. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead. Chapter 29.
All right, recap. It's like that movie The Birds, but then they get to the steady.
Oh, you know what? You nailed it.
I mean, that's pretty much the whole thing.
I mean, we can go into detail, and I'm glad to do that.
Can I tell you what?
But you kind of nailed it.
Can I tell you what Elias is doing?
We're going to go into detail. The recap's just the recap.
I mean, I'm kind of fine. If you just wanted to move on to the next chapter, I'd be okay with it. All right. Let's talk about it.
Let's get through Jono's sense, because I'm sure there's a plethora.
Yeah, because he has 1,000 things that he's trying to say, and he's like giving me eyeballs. Like, how dare you try to move on to the next chapter?
We cannot fucking. All right. I got sexual. I got Elias is plugging hot dirt holes.
Sexual?
Elias is plugging hot dirt holes.
Oh yeah, who doesn't? I plug hot dirt holes all the time.
And then I've got. I just love that the Ravens really. I feel like it's. Again, I think I said this a million times. I wanted to see more of this later on in the books, because this is some of the most ominous, fucking weird shit.
This chapter's super freaky.
It's
I mean, it's a fantastic chapter.
It is. There is no more reading it even now.
Yeah, even now I'm upset when I read this chapter. I'm like, just get to the end.
And like I read it frenziedly. Like
I do too.
Yeah. Okay. They got to the top of the hill. Perrin's about to stand up, and then all of a sudden, 4,000 fucking ravens comes out of nowhere, and they're like, oh man.
I do like when they're trying to creep up to the crest of one of the hills, and he's following Elias, and Elias is like, do you think that horse is going to be able to crawl? And he's like, oh yeah, should probably leave this horse down in the bottom of the hill.
Because the horse should be crawling.
I mean, horses know how to crawl.
Yeah.
I still have a problem all these years later being afraid of birds.
Really? It's freaky.
Yeah, I feel like I'd just punch him in the face.
You know how many faces there are?
I feel like I'd punch 500 birds in the face.
Well,
and then 1,000 more would peck my
my
eyeballs out and pick my bones clean before.
That's correct.
I feel like I could do some kind of drunken master thing.
Yeah, you're right. Jackie Chan needs to be here.
Yeah, we're just hitting them constantly, spinning around in circles.
Yeah, just never-ending punching, kicking, swirling.
Yeah, you just gotta turn yourself into a whirlwind of punches and fists. That solves the problem.
I mean, it's too bad Egwene can't really channel at this point, because she would
just light them on fire.
Or just a protective bubble of air. Like anything.
Or like a steading.
Or like run at the steading.
Like Invisible Woman.
Yes. I think one of the main notes in this chapter is that Perrin really starts like listening to the wolves and feeling the wolves and like starts mentioning it to Egwene, and he's upset that he's like, mentioning to Egwene, and like Egwene's like, oh my god, you can talk to them, and like it's a little bit more of that as well as the bird bullshit.
So what interests me here though is like there's a real quick note that like of Elia saying to like look up, you know, that kind of thing, like be careful.
Yeah, and then he's like, you expect this horse to crawl up a hill, bro?
No, but Perrin feels it. Perrin is not supposed to be able, like, Wolf Brother cannot talk to Wolf Brother.
Yeah.
So, like, again, one of the most amazing things about Robert Jordan's writing to me is how little he fucks up in book one. How good.
Yeah, it is kind of amazing.
And yet,
there are moments, but they're
this
small.
Is one of those.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Even in the next chapter, he mentions how that's a rule.
Yeah, I know. I always wondered how how that got through. It just kind of...
Maybe we should yell at the editor. Harriet McDougal?
Harriet McDougal. Harriet McDougal. I don't know how to do that South Carolina accent.
You mean Charleston?
Charleston. Harriet McDougal.
All you can say is Charleston, and then the entire thing breaks down.
Like we mentioned.
Yeah.
Those fucking ravens creepy as shit. Like when you get that first fox bursting out of cover.
It's
gross.
Fucking creepy. But it's
gross.
Also exactly what Tom said.
Yeah, it's fucking
It's just the movie The Birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep yelling nevermore while killing him.
That's not in that movie.
But that's ravens.
No, just go into a bathroom. There's no windows.
Listen, it's like Tom said, it's the movie The Burbs. Tom Hanks there.
I thought you were saying
he
the birds.
He says pizza guy.
I think he's saying the birds.
It's exactly like the birds.
Which is birds. I'm losing my mind.
The best part about this is that what our viewers can't tell is that Jono's actually upset. He doesn't know what we've been saying.
There's a lot of ravens in Perrin's parents' house, and they're eating all their food.
Yeah, and he's super paranoid about his neighbors.
Paranoid.
And also...
Suddenly Donatello is like, pizza!
The biggest problem that Perrin's facing right now is that Rumsfeld's dog just took a dump on Walter's lawn.
Hey, no, and that's very concerning. Now let's get back to these ravens.
Also, Princess Leia's there.
That is interesting. I do think that's weird. It's a weird choice.
Yeah,
it's a weird choice.
But you know, it's the early '90s.
I mean, she's not channeling, so it makes it okay.
When she gets in the setting, though, loses all ability.
So
yeah, you don't lose the force in the setting.
So when they cross over the line of the steading.
Well, we're not there yet.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Are we not?
No.
Sorry, I thought we were done talking about the Burbs. You need to talk about more?
Tell me more about the Burbs. What about that guy that takes the trash to the street?
Let's talk about the fact that this is the beginning of so much emo self-hatred for Perrin.
Oh, yeah. It is upsetting.
This is when he tells Egwene the truth that, you know, the wolf said that there's ravens behind us, and she's like, oh, you actually do feel. And his response is self-shame and wanting to kill himself. Like, not like, yeah, I do. Look at me helping you. Just instantly self-shame.
One small note we should discuss, and I'm not trying to step on what you're talking about, Jono, but before we move on, we should talk about how Perrin was contemplating chopping Egwene's head off.
Oh, that comes up later too.
Oh, okay.
No. That's next chapter.
That's later. Yeah.
No, he thinks about it now. It's next chapter that they discuss it.
Yeah. Joe's correct. So,
I mean, if you want to do it now, that cuts away a lot of what we're going to talk about in chapter 30.
Well, we don't want to talk.
Let's save it. Well, he has that thought now. We'll save the discussion for the next chapter.
So, enjoy the next dozen books because Perrin now hits his own.
Yeah, man. People like to cry about the middle books for a lot of reasons, but I think, until Brandon Sanderson stepped in 12 and 13, that's when Perrin finally started to be like, turn a corner with the wolves and
humanity,
everything, and the dream, and everything. And you're just like, motherfucker, you could have done that not a long time ago, but like book 10.
I mean, future note for Perrin, he has to relive this and conquers the sphere in book 3.
Yeah, which is insane.
Did you say it's the sphere? Oh, fear.
His fear.
I heard the sphere, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, he has to go in the dream world to save Fail and fight like off thousands and thousands of little birds.
No, you're 100% correct. I heard the word sphere like it was that fucking Michael Crichton novel, and I was very confused. Anyway, so
You're talking about Cape Sphere?
good old South Africa.
Wait, are we talking about the Cape?
Yeah. I've got no more notes for this chapter, John.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
I do enjoy, by the way, the very... it's not really talked about enough because Elias just makes fun of both Perrin and Egwene so fucking badly. Like, I thought you guys just fucking, sit here singing...
I like when he makes fun of him in the next chapter and he's just like, what the fuck did they teach you idiots? It's like, Jesus Christ.
Just over and over.
Guys, they're from a tiny village.
Yeah.
Give them a break.
But, as Tom mentioned, they hit the steading. I'd like to talk about the fact that Perrin's an idiot. Because there's one small, shallow pool of water.
Yeah.
Perrin instantly throws his head into it.
Thanks for getting the entire water supply dirty with your sweat.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Yeah, you haven't showered in forever. You're filled with bacteria. You probably got coronavirus.
We're all going to be making tea with your gross head water.
At least they're making tea out of it, so at least boiling it.
Do you think Snape was trying to show him a memory?
Is that what that is?
When they enter the steading and like Perrin feels like a tingle wash over him, what is that about?
It's the steading.
Does that happen to everyone?
Everyone, yeah. Everyone
Why
shivers.
they never... I guess they don't really talk about it later. Or it's such a minuscule detail that it doesn't, like, redo it every single time.
No, it does it every time. They mention, like, some of them, like, loyal...
Maybe he just focuses on the people that can channel in later books.
It happens to everybody in The Great Hunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So it happens to everyone. And, like, if you notice, Egwene says loss. Other people say, like... Thank God, there's better things growing. Ends up that like the steading are technically from like almost another world, if I remember, because like they've got that book.
Yeah,
and so like it's almost like another like paradise has kind of intruded upon.
Is it like a fucking dimensional like gate that you're crossing through in a way?
Quasi, yeah.
Yeah,
it's both here and there, and
so do you think that? So you view the Ogier as like dimensional beings, not necessarily like aliens.
No.
Yes, that's what it says. It says they are. They are dimensional, like maybe aliens, but they are not.
But they're not like flying saucer came from another planet aliens. They're just like we crossed through this weird.
They're from another world.
Yeah, kind of like.
I want to make it very clear that I do not agree with that.
It says it literally in books like 12 or 13.
I mean, I don't know when, but they do say that.
Yeah, they're not from this world.
No, I'm not doing it.
Okay, all right, good.
Just no.
Good talk. Despite the fact that they've got the book of translation,
well, I think they've been
fuck off.
I think they're dimensional beings that have been here for so long they don't even remember that they're dimensional.
That's
beings.
correct.
I think that's kind of where Tom's at.
Like they've got an escape book that just says,
and they don't even almost get what it is.
They don't understand because they've been here.
Which is crazy because they must have been here for a really long time because they have really long memories.
Yeah, and big old dicks too.
Oh yeah, definitely big old dicks.
So I hate that our Egwene killing or wannabe killing friend here. Perrin is now just emo Perrin. Like Egwene's over here, like, celebrating the fact that they made it, and all I can think about is like, I could have killed you. Like,
just fucking emo after the dream when they're in the hotel in Fairlawn.
Yeah.
When like Matt goes out anyway, and Randa's bummed out. And then he goes to find Perrin, and Perrin just like won't even look up at him. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sad about my dream."
You know what his dream was about? What? I was waiting for Tom.
I thought I would have a guess, but I don't.
Not killing Egwene. Because he wants that bitch dead.
Good. That's a good thing for it not to be about.
So sad I didn't kill her last night. Next night, so sad I didn't kill her last night.
This chapter rolls right into the next chapter. Are we there?
We are.
Chapter 30!
Where are you calling from? Space?
The elevator.
I was going to say we should make sure that I introduce every chapter from the stairwell from hell.
I mean, that was kind of fucking amazing. I'm sort of excited now.
Can't forget my friend Zeus calling.
Chapter 30. Children of the Shadow.
Welcome to Chapter 30.
I wish there were people below you, like 3 or 4 floors, just looking down, like looking up, like
They're all inside because the coronavirus is killing the elderly.
Tom, how old are you?
Tom lives in an old person's home. Assisted living.
Anyway, Chapter 30. They discuss chopping the Gween's head off. The White Cloaks show up. Perrin and Hopper kill some White Cloaks. They get captured.
Oh.
Discuss.
Well, the chapter's called Children of Shadow,
I find
which
this...
is the opposite of Children of Light. Jono.
I love this beautiful piece of irony that they flee the Dark One's people, or the Dark One's spies, only to find the most crazy fucking hardcore religious people for the Creator, ostensibly, who actually do them harm.
Yeah.
Well, technically.
I mean, they do.
Perrin does kill them. There's always the question of, could you come out and say, hey man,
So how many people does Perrin kill right now? 2?
2.
It's not that big of a deal.
I mean, who hasn't killed 2 people?
I know.
Yeah. Like, who hasn't killed 2 cops?
They killed my friends.
Wait,
They were
wait,
friends.
wait.
Dogs?
Accidentally or on purpose?
None of your business.
I mean, it's...
I mean, I've killed a lot of people on purpose. I've only killed 7 accidentally.
Wait. 7's not a lot? Wait, what's a lot?
No, it's not.
Yeah. Technically, every time I
Alright.
shoot my load into my own hand,
Yeah,
I just-
millions, billions.
I like the idea of shooting
Yeah,
my own
I-
hand. It's a weird image.
Know how many sperm...
3,585 people accidentally right now just walking down the stairs and touching 3 door handles.
You know how many people Tom kills when he jerks off and doesn't go into somebody?
7.
3.
Because it's low sperm count joke, Tom.
Your mouth.
Your mouth.
You got it. You're good. You're good. You're doing well.
Wait, tell me the punchline again later and then do the joke again later and then I'll try to say it again later.
Here's the punchline.
Third time's a charm.
Tom O'Hara. That's the punchline.
You know what? I didn't fuck that up, but I almost did, saying third time's a charm. And it just reminded me of this when me and Tom were in Ireland with our family. I said it's all down here from here instead of hill. And it just became like the best thing that
Down here from here?
It's all down here from here. What? Nothing. Don't listen to me. I'm not drunk.
Would have gotten away with it, too.
It's all down here from here, guys.
Meddling Irish blood.
Well, Jono, tell us about chapter fucking 30.
More
He
detail.
already did his recap.
Oh, okay.
Let's hear your notes so we can move on to the next one.
So
Well, they stare into the eye of Arthur Hawkwing.
Let's talk about Elias here, by the way. This is before that.
Uh-huh.
Elias talks about, like, hey, do you hate her? Do you,
Yeah, you're talking about murdering a
So
queen?
You wanna kill her? It's a little bit off the mark, Elias is.
It's a tiny bit off the mark.
Yeah.
He sees the anguish on Perrin's face and him staring at his axe and just assumes Perrin wants to murder a queen.
Not only that, listen to this.
It's kind of funny.
He goes, a blind man can read your face, boy. Speak up. Do you hate the girl? Despise her? That's it. You're ready to kill her because you despise her. Dragging her feet, holding you back with her womanish ways.
Womanish ways.
Like, is this did I write this monologue? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? Like, there's a lot going on. These are very loaded questions, to which the answer is, actually, I really like her. I didn't want her to suffer, and what the fuck is wrong with you?
News.
What's the news?
Jordan Con canceled.
Oh, well, not unexpected, but that's fucking sad.
I mean, it's not unexpected, but it is kind of sad.
Is it canceled or I guess it's canceled.
Canceled.
Canceled until next year?
Uh,
I mean, this is news, and you're breaking it, so I need to hear what you're actually saying.
I mean, do you want me to read the email? You have
Yes.
the email.
Oh, it's an email?
Yeah. I just saw it. You can read it because by the time you read it, or by the time the podcast comes out, it'll be public knowledge.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 canceled to health and safety. We will, in the coming weeks, we will discuss the process of next year.
That's our
It looks like
version
it's
of
canceled to
reading it?
next year.
Yeah.
We will be discussing the process for next year's convention and any procedural changes resulting from this year's cancellation. Yeah, it's canceled till next year.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a reschedule at all.
Yeah, it's
hope
definitely not.
Jimmy and Jennifer don't lose money on this. That's really the only thing that matters to me.
Well, so JordanCon,
It should be self-sustaining at this point, right?
yeah,
I think
for many years back in the day, like around 4 or 5, it was running off of
Their money.
yes, but then they got an LLC.
Oh.
And it started it shifted and it changed, so everything started changing. And then when Brandon started coming, the money went up.
Yeah.
So
it
like
became-
it kind of like paid them back and then slowly started to make a profit, but it was all for charity.
Yeah.
So they don't hold on to the money.
yeah, they've hit their
To
losses.
my
and
knowledge,
they're-
they hold on to the money that they need for next year, and then everything else just goes to charity, and it goes to the whatever foundation that does
Yeah,
the
the Mayo
disease.
Clinic.
The
Yeah.
Mayo Clinic. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
I think they'll be okay because I've seen.
I think they're fine. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I've seen some people arguing with hotels over the last few days about hotels trying to say like we can provide the service, so it's on you. Sorry. Until so I assumed they were waiting to officially cancel JordanCon until the hotel said we can't do it. So
Right.
I'm assuming that's what happened.
That's probably true.
I just want to make
And
sure.
they
that-
also have like a contract with the hotel, so I'm sure there's some sort of stipulation
I don't
there.
Think I don't think they're going to cancel it until the hotel said we can't do it.
That's a very
Otherwise, they would have been
logical and probably absolutely correct point.
I just want
So
to make sure that our fans don't
that's
get
why it's
fucked
happening
on
now.
this.
They're
So-
they're fine.
Good for
They're
them.
not going to get fucked. They're
Well, guess what? Next JordanCon, which is also this JordanCon, is going to be insane because that show may be out.
yeah, by that point, if it's not out in January, it'll be out in the summer. So like that.
So this may be a giant weird ass.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird one.
Yeah.
How bizarre.
Let's get 2 shows.
You know what's so crazy about this is that like
How bizarre.
they.
That's all I can think about. Thanks. For
I mean,
doing
I know just offhand, just being like within the Twitter of Time on like the Twitter,
Twat time.
this, the group on Twitter that does Twitter of Time.
Yeah.
A lot of those people are coming for the first time. Like, I mean, Trolloc Talk was coming for the first time.
Not
first
anymore.
time. Like, a lot of people are coming in.
A lot of
like,
people are coming for the first time. Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Way too old for that, but
it's
yeah.
so fucking weird.
I agree.
It's a
They're not
weird year
dating.
to have this canceled.
It's kind of, yeah, I agree with you 100%.
It's the right decision to make.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Well,
there's one doubt.
they're not filming the show anymore.
Huh?
They're pausing it. Yeah.
The only thing that won't stop is tWoTcast.
Yeah, that's on that note. I mean, we don't know if we're actually or when this will happen. We've been talking about going up to Charleston and just hanging out with Team
Charleston.
Jordan and having a miniature Jordan Cup.
Yeah, Tom,
So we might do that.
what's your interest in actually doing that sooner rather than later, like kind of like late spring, early summer, going to Charleston?
Late summer.
All right, late summer. Whatever. Late summer's fine with me. So that's not
Captain Jack
crazy
Sparrow?
news.
Yeah,
but it
it's
is news.
Bandy.
All right. Well, it's happy St. Patrick's Day. JordanCon's officially canceled.
Fucking sucks.
We knew it was going to be canceled 2 weeks.
Oh, of course we did. I mean, we did. We knew. And Tom, you're
back
probably
to
right.
the
They're
book.
probably holding out for the hotel or some sort of legality that we don't understand or know about.
I mean,
But that being said, let's all get shit faced that weekend by ourselves.
and just call it hashtag JordanCon.
Yeah, and just do our own JordanCon.
JordanCon.
Yeah, that's what I said. What did I say?
JordanCon.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Booby traps.
So, good advice here from Elias, by the way.
Oh,
Which is,
back to the chapter.
it's
Gotcha.
almost ironic that he just gave a whole bunch of like, you should kill that bitch, am I right? I mean, it's kind of annoying. And then Perrin just kind of looks him down and he's like, well, let me tell you about murder. You don't like to do that. So if you ever feel like you like it, throw the axe away. Which, very good advice, comes to root later. But I love the juxtaposition with...
Is it good advice?
It actually
I feel like it's
is.
bad advice. The second I'm holding the blade and I want to feel like murdering somebody, I'm going to jerk off on that blade and then do it.
You probably don't want to do that. It's going to leave your fucking DNA, dumbass. Jerk someone else off onto it.
I mean,
I'll
to be
do that
fair,
too.
Jono, they don't really have DNA testing.
As long as you mix the DNA, they can't pin it on you.
Was your cum just randomly in some guy's throat?
You just need an alibi, bro.
Yeah. I was getting a blowjob from this guy.
Listen, I was just in a random small town with a bunch of white cloaks. I was putting my dick down all their throats. I don't know.
Guys,
they just happened to get their head chopped off 2 days later.
Yes, guys, by the way, you're my alibi.
That doesn't necessarily mean that my cum was on an axe that went into that guy's throat. That'd be weird.
By the way, hatchet wound, I take a way different term. That means
we just made that way strange. So anyway, so they, they're sitting in Arthur Harkwing's eye.
Yeah. We get the sending here from the wolves, and this is really where Perrin kind of...
Yeah, they get... I think a key that I constantly forget is that Elias has the... They get the drop on them, so to speak, because of the fact that the wolves didn't realize that the danger they were sensing was the men and not the ravens.
And, it's bizarrely kept away from the reader for all of, like, 1 page of what the fuck it is, because it's just kind of like, all of a sudden, like, massive sending, wait.
Yeah, it is. It's a little. It's a very tense chapter followed by another very tense chapter, and I think that's almost on purpose. Like you're amped up, so you're like not realizing how horrifying it is that Perrin just chops somebody's head off, kind of thing.
Yeah,
with a cum drenched.
Well, let's get there.
It really works with Perrin's emotional flow in the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
This is also the first time that we see
Sean
how
made it
good
make sense.
Perrin's vision is, because like he's looking out and says like looking at AR and they're like, here's where we can hide.
Oh yeah, he's like, we're hiding in the palm of Arthur Harkwing, and she's like, how the fuck are you seeing that right now?
Love.
And he's like, I sensed. Was just guessing.
So
I was guessing if anyone was coming.
Say goodbye to Hopper, by the way, because his eye was already fucked up anyway. So it's time to go.
Yeah, they kill a friend of his.
You think Hopper would have done a better job killing these white cloaks with 2 eyes?
That's one of my questions, because I feel like what he could have done. Maybe just hamstring
Seeing the other side of his body.
Yeah. Would have gotten away with it.
Have some sort of depth perception.
You know what I was rewatching Avengers randomly because we've been stuck in the house, and there's a hilarious scene, Jono, in Avengers. I know Tom is going to know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm going to clarify it for you and our viewers, I guess. But there's a hilarious scene where Tony Stark comes onto the deck of the helicarrier, and there's screens to the right and screens to the left, and he's like, he covers up one of his eyes and is like, how does Fury even see these? And I'm like, it's a funny eye patch joke.
It's a good question. He's great. Like, he could be...
That man's playing Galaga. Thought we would have noticed. But we did.
I was expecting a Hopper Nick Fury parallel.
Few people do.
Well, it's there. It's there, Tom. Also, does Hopper have 2 eyes in the dream? Because I don't remember him having a...
He does. He goes back to mint.
Oh, so he's like, okay.
Mint condition Hopper.
So he's mint condition in the dream world.
Yeah.
So it's probably good that he died.
Yeah,
he's fine now. He's just flying around the dream world, hanging out, having a good time.
Similar to how we have everyone enter the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't bring
just
in
purified.
A one-eyed Hopper.
Yeah, we don't have one-handed Rand. It's just Rand.
Yeah. Who only has...
Okay, I got you. All right, I'm following you.
We should do Royal Rumble one year where we bring everyone in
GIMP version. Yeah.
We should absolutely do a Royal Rumble episode this year, just due to all the WWE's cancellations and everything else in the world. I mean, I think that we're a little starved for some wrestling.
Man, off topic, but also on topic. I just watched the WWE Raw Monday night with no audience.
How weird.
That was awkward.
Was it weird?
Really awkward.
I bet it was. I can't even imagine it without an audience.
Have you watched soccer without an audience?
It was 90% clip.
I've watched soccer with very few small crowds.
That's called America. But like
fair enough.
The closed door any sport is weird.
It is weird. It's like super quiet. It's like watching tennis or something because they're always quiet. So it's like when there's like nothing going on and you're like and just quiet clapping when something.
But if you hear like the center back yelling, check him on the left! And you could have just said it. You didn't even do that.
You didn't even have to yell. You could have just talked.
We were at a bar Saturday and they had Ukrainian soccer on TV and there was no crowd and it was fucking weird.
The Ukraine is weak, Tom.
Ukraine is weak!
You know what that means in Ukraine? Border. Ukraine. Thanks. Took a class once.
Good.
That is a 30-year-old Seinfeld joke.
It's a 30-year-old Seinfeld joke followed by an awkward Jono joke that made very
what a
little
joke.
sense.
It was not a joke.
I know.
I
know. It's off topic, to be fair. All right, get us back in here, Jono. What are we doing?
All right, so Perrin wakes up after having murdered a couple people, and guess who we see? The Commander Jeffrem Bonehold, or Captain.
Is a revenge killing a murder?
Apparently, yes.
I mean,
I feel like yes. By the way, the answer is yes, legally. just as a heads up.
I mean, it's in the moment, though. It's not a revenge killing. It's an avenging killing. You know? Nick Fury is part of the Avengers.
It's a self-defense killing a murder.
I mean, I think it is self-defense. Later on in his...
not so much.
It's not self-defense.
Were they not going to murder him?
No.
No?
Definitely not.
I don't know.
I don't think they were.
I don't know. They're as frenzied as... They're freaked out and frenzied as they are.
Joe, if they were going to murder him, why didn't they murder him after the fact? After he killed two of them?
Yeah,
because of like in the moment,
Wrong,
a cop would shoot you in the face, but 2 seconds later, there's a bunch of cops around. And he's like, I can't shoot you in the face right now.
They're their own
but
cops.
I would have.
It's their own people.
What are you
Tom
talking
is
about?
right.
They do that when they have body cams.
Yeah. Tom is correct. They would not have done it.
I don't know.
Joe managed to walk himself even worse in this situation. Or even more.
Yeah, he really did.
All right, I only walked myself into this situation worse by mentioning cops because Tom's right. Cops do kill people constantly. All I'm saying is like the checks and balances of the Children of the Light don't necessarily align with present-day police officers. But what I'm trying to say is
ironic because even after a killing, they didn't. That's what Tom's saying, and he would have gotten.
But there was more of them there. That's what I'm saying. Like
they all want him dead. They all want Perrin dead.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I know you don't because you're wrong.
I disagree with you.
That's fine.
All I'm saying is I think Perrin could have mounted a better defense later on than they killed my friends. My friends happen to be wolves.
Yeah, I will be. I don't.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Well,
in the trial to come later in the books, I feel like he could have had a better defense built up than. I guess I did it.
I mean, to be fair, if somebody killed one of my dogs, I would kill them.
Yeah, don't fuck with my cat.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's not what you're saying actually at all.
Something more later on. I'm trying to justify what he's doing now to give him better defense later.
You did not do a good job. You were completely wrong.
What are you, a fucking lawyer?
Yeah, I feel like...
I'm trying to be.
Anyway, so coming back to the whole point here is...
Congratulations from now on, Perrin's lawyer Joe.
All right, I can't wait for the trial.
Buyer comes... He gives
I have 6 years to prepare.
Buyer gives the details of the night.
It's really true. Yeah. I hope you really put a lot of presents together.
I can't wait till we're sitting around recording this and Joe's handing out file folders.
6 fucking years from now, whenever that chapter comes up where the trial happens, it's the whole episode because it's going to be an episode of Law and Order.
If we're sitting around 6 years from now, we're talking about this. Like, do you remember when we talked about this 6 years ago? And Joe pulls out like,
I'm gonna be like, do I? Here you go.
Two pieces of paper, slams them on the table. And he's like, hey, idiot, this is Discovery. Good luck.
Next week we're covering this chapter alone. Here's your discovery.
He invites
you have 7 days.
And the next week, and the next week, and the next week.
He invites us to tWoTcast on the wrong night. We're like, what's weird? Just serves us subpoenas.
Jono, Tom, good luck paying your legal fees.
6 years of continuances. I don't have the money for that. It's a fucking lawyer. Fuck. But anyway, so Buyer comes in and gives the details of the night, how many dead, how many are heading to, death, that kind of thing. And it ends up they're going to Camelin for Logain. And he also gives, by the way, an update on the wolfskin rug, which, by the way, good job, Buyer. This is our first viewing of Buyer and Jeffrem Bonehold. And goddamn, Bonehold, he's still not that bad of a guy. Buyer is miserable. What's that?
Is it Jeffrem?
Geofram.
Jeffrem? He's a good guy.
It's Jeffrem.
Dane, he's a piece of shit.
Dane's a piece of shit.
Jeffrem, he's a good guy.
Yeah, Jeffrem's... So
I like Bonehold Jeffrem, comma Jeffrem, like he's a good guy. But Dane, Bonehold, comma Dane, horrible guy.
I only like him in book 2. We don't know we like him now.
No, you get hints. You get hints. Maybe not in this moment, but like the preceding or the
there's grandfatherly
chapters.
Smiles.
Yeah, later on he treats them very fairly. I disagree. I think you see hints of good Bonehold in this book.
I got a good Bonehold in this book.
You know what I'm talking about? You get a good Bonehold in this book.
Yeah. So one of the things that I find is kind of interesting as the books go by is that we see a lot of politics through the White Cloak's eyes. Like we see
We're only reading a few chapters. You mean as the pages go by?
Yeah, no, as books go by, we see from Pedro Niles' viewpoint, we see what's his name? God damn it.
Boars?
No, we see him too, but Jacob Carradine. But
man
also, what's the guy? Starts with a B.
Boars.
Balwer?
Yeah, Balor. Yeah, I can't read my own writing.
Balwer? Is it Balwer?
Yeah, Seven Balor. Yeah.
You mean the secretary? He's not a White Cloak.
I'm talking about like we see the politics from their eyes.
Oh yeah.
Of what goes on continentally.
Yeah.
But we really don't see the inner politics of them. And so like, there's this talk about the fact that like Jeffrem Bonehold is an anointed of the light, and like what that means, and like kind of like the deference due to him, and like apparently you can't even like raise your voice to him is really what Byer is trying to say. Like the deference due to a man who's been anointed by the light, who's in that kind of like top 15, 20 kind of
yeah.
is so fucking important.
We see the rapidity that runs through an organization like this too, as we lose like the ones that I wouldn't call them the good ones, but the ones that like aren't evil necessarily, but believe in what they're doing.
Yeah.
It actually makes me appreciate in the later books. Like I appreciate the fuck out of Gallad, who is like, however dumb in his own ways, but like he truly is just like, no, this is is it.
He's honest.
Yeah, he's honest. Yeah,
and I feel like Bonehold actually is too.
He's also actually of the light.
Yeah,
which is some of them aren't.
Yeah, and we'll see the
98% aren't.
I think they actually are. They just don't understand
90.
What the light really is.
They're the KKK, for fuck's sake.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't know. I see it as more of a pure form.
They're a mixture of the KKK and organized religion, I suppose.
I see them more of a form of like.
I think the latter, like the Spanish Inquisition.
Like distilled zealotry.
Exactly. You nailed it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess technically that is pretty much the KKK mixed with.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think as a kind of like. They're trying to avoid the modern, which is fucked up. That's modern.
Yeah.
God damn, go away.
I feel bad for defending them for like a millisecond. It's ridiculous.
Well, no. It goes back to the same old thing of like, just because you were in the German military doesn't mean you were a Nazi. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone that was like living in Germany was a piece of fucking shit during World War II. It's just like there was a shitload of horrible people. And they did horrible things, but some of them were just like a guy that was a farmer that is like shooting.
That applies though to the children.
Wow, we're getting somewhere. I don't want to even comment on it.
No, I'm going the opposite way. I'm trying to get away from the fucking weird ass German military thing. I don't think that applies to the children of light. I think that there's plenty of times that they actually have let, and Jeffrem Bonehold trying to tell us that they've let people who may have sinned go. Yeah, like we don't know really what they're going to do with Egwene.
Yeah. I feel like Egwene would have been let go.
I agree.
Under Jeffrem Bonehold.
Would have been tortured and...
After she was, raped, fucked, and murdered.
Not necessarily.
Just kidding.
I think she would have been given the opportunity to confess her sins that never happened and killed.
I don't know. I think Perrin would have been given that opportunity. I feel like Egwene probably would.
Perrin doesn't get that opportunity. They already know he's a killer. He's dead.
Fair enough, but they would have let him confess his quote-unquote sins and been killed.
Fair enough.
Well, Egwene would have never agreed to anything they're saying about Perrin. They would have killed her too.
That's true.
Well,
she's more of a stubborn jackass than Perrin.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
So let's finish this chapter up.
And honestly, she's stronger than Perrin. She would have never.
Well, not physically.
Well, yeah, I mean, she can't lift the tire, flip it over end in the beach.
Yeah, she's not grabbing a fucking like rope that's like tied to a fucking 18-wheeler.
Yeah, she's not like. Never mind. I was gonna say something horrible. Okay,
I like
continue.
Well, wait, I'm here now.
Yeah,
no, I'm good.
It's,
moving on.
Is it a Kegel joke?
No, not at all.
Should be. So.
Is it a Kegel joke?
So anyway, Bonehold does the most amazing interrogation called "Tell me why I shouldn't kill you," to which they respond with, well, when we were talking with wolves and with warders and we saw some trollocs.
Nice and I.
It was just kind of...
You condemned yourselves, you sons of bitches!
Yeah.
What?
Well, we were talking with the people that you find to be the most inhuman creatures of devil incarnate. We found out, man,
they're not so bad. They're not that bad.
Yeah. So,
hey, you know those people that you consider demons? I kind of like one of them.
Yeah.
It's the only one I've ever met, to be fair, but I like him.
Yeah. So, also, I killed people.
You killed my friend. He's a wolf. Sure, he's a wolf.
Yeah.
But he was my friend.
So that's that chapter. Good job, Aaron.
Oh, goddamn. You guys took so long to get out of this chapter, though. It's like, I guess I'm going to go have another drink. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I happen to be right here.
Oh, you're in the stairwell.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Chapter 31!
Well, I love the fake echo and then the slamming of the god door after it. What was
Rand and
that?
Matt are traveling. Matt is mad about the knife, like Rand trying to get him to sell it. Else is cock hungry. They arrive at the fortune.
All right, I've got a lot to say there, but my first thought here is Joe and I are going to, unbeknownst to you, just come to your building and get downstairs as you're yelling down your god fucking door. And
we're just going to record in like a van that we rented.
And we're going to record it back up.
Hang out in the parking lot, and then when you're in the stairwell, we're just going to run into the stairwell and be like,
Chapter 31!
It's called Play for Your Supper! Supper!
You're going to lose your fucking mind.
Like, what?
You can never come into my god door.
I'm going to do it tonight. Oh.
It's apparently not hard. I just have to ask somebody on the street direction somewhere, and they let you right into the building. We've done it many times.
You're not welcome in my god door.
I really hope your neighbors are creeped the fuck out right now.
Nah, they're all asleep. They're
Play for your supper. Chapter 31.
They're elderly. There's a pandemic.
Yeah, they're probably dead. Yeah,
They're probably all dead. They have upper respiratory problems.
Well, they do now. Anyway, so
So like I was fine until I walked onto the stairwell and some asshole has been blowing cigarette smoke in like indoors all night.
So this is Matt and Rand running from Whitebridge to the east.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those chapters that kind of sticks out. It's like, really, what is book one to you?
They don't care about anything. They're laughing and pushing each other into bushes.
I don't think that's quite right.
No?
Yeah, that's some like weird Super Soaker episode.
Who cares? Water!
To me, book one is like three things. It's Emmons Field, Matt and Rand, like hiding behind
Matt and Rand
shit.
on the road.
And then like...
By Jack Kerouac.
Yeah, pretty much. And then what happens at the end?
Just travel montage on the road to Camelin.
But the travel montage here really...
I remember it being so much longer.
It's so much longer than mine.
It's very short, though.
It's really
It's
like
not that
50
long.
pages.
Yeah, it's
like,
not
not even. And it's like 50 pages interwoven with
It feels like an eternity. Same with the Brand in a Box. Feels like an eternity. It's not that long.
It's 2 chapters.
Yeah, it's a few chapters.
But
I mean, they're long. You know, it's a 50-ish page section, like maybe 60, but like it's not huge in terms of the book as a whole.
But I think.
But I remember him. I remember just being like, "He's in the box forever, fuck! Kill them!" And then like you go back and read it, you're like, "Oh, it's really short."
I think part of it.
It's amazing on the reread, the parts that you thought lasted for an eternity last like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, because it's because emotionally I am in it for an eternity, but in terms of actual page count, you're like, "Oh, that's incredibly short time."
Well, if you look at it, Whitebridge to Camelin is like half the length of Andor, and that's half the length of
That's
Andor.
fucking far.
And like that's including all the way west and all the way east, like, west of Lightbridge, east of fucking Camelot.
Well, now what our viewers don't know is that Jono has flipped to the map of the book and is now breaking down scale.
Get fucking laid.
Joe. There's no viewers.
No, yeah, what? Yeah, there are. They're watching right now.
As an aside,
I'm just kidding. I know there's viewers.
hundreds of viewers, and they know what the fuck I'm doing.
Hundreds.
Well, I mean, not now, but they're gonna view later.
You're bad with zeros. There's thousands.
Oh yeah, then too. But what I'm trying to say here is, it goddamn feels like forever. Especially considering that really this chapter takes up 3/4 of that length of that travel in one chapter, from fucking Whitebridge to Four Kings. And yet, it's so like paramount in your mind when you read the fucking thing. Like when you finished it, you're like, that trip is very visceral. Like the way that they're like running down the road, jumping into fucking like bushes, coming out, trying to meet with farmers, and there's multiple farmers, there's multiple people. It's very, very like kind of just given to make you concerned about their fucking.
Now, do they see Elspeth well in this chapter?
You're goddamn right they do.
Oh yeah, they do.
Not only
They see a lot. They see a lot.
Hold on a second. As I stated earlier to our viewers, I didn't finish my reading, so I actually don't know what happens in this chapter. I'm officially out of this chapter.
Are you asking if they see Elsa's pussy in this chapter?
That is the the vertical grin well.
Whoa.
Because I feel like that's what you were asking.
I mean, that is what I was asking, but I wouldn't have said that out loud.
The answer is yes. They see your pussy.
Do you think the back and forth, like, there's weird, like, positional and time jumps in this. Was that necessary?
So, if I remember correctly, part of it's been actually corrected. The original publishing of the book has some like weirder things, as far as like there's some inaccuracies that were covered, and there's even more coming later.
Yeah, there's a lot of like this does not. Matt and Rand's journey does not happen in chronological order. Like,
it does not. It does not. Like that's why.
So what you're asking is it necessary? I don't understand.
Why do it? Why not just straight line it?
Huh. I don't know. I think that there's an idea of kind of like, hey, we survived, so let me tell you how.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Except it can be doing an interesting job.
You might want to slow down certain. I mean, once everyone splits, you might want to slow down certain areas to kind of like dive deep into like what's going on in, say, the Dragon Reborn's head, as opposed to like Perrin and Egwene, who are technically at this point less important.
And because they're
or is that not a good enough reason?
Oh, I thought you were being sexist.
No, I'm asking.
No, I mean, I think that you're onto something. The idea of kind of like, it's a different thing to start with ABC versus you start with C and say, wow, A was crazy. Mm-hmm. And kind of like start off that way. And, you know, kind of like throw you backwards. Like, so you know you're going to survive. Well, no shit, they're your main character. But you also know that there's about to be some shit. Yeah. So on every page, you're expecting some shit. And if that's 2/3 versus 1/3 of the way through, it kind of changes your assumptions. Yeah. It allows you to create tension. But at the same time, if you only do that randomly, it's a very odd way of storytelling, is what Tom's going for, and I agree. Like, why have it like that when you already know there's going to be tension and detention?
Gotcha. I don't know. Maybe he felt that it helps the rising action for like the penis, the later climax of the urethra.
I don't know. I mean, I found it a little confusing the first time I read it.
It was very confusing, and there's another part later on that's much more confusing. Mwah. There's one much more confusing later on. But I guess let's just get into it. To it. So I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you have a voice in your head that...
His name is Luce Theron. I don't talk to him a lot, but every once in a while... he's like, kill those fuckers! And I'm like, why are you yelling at me right now? I'm just trying to drive to work, you know?
It's not a good voice.
I'm just trying to edit the show.
What were you talking about?
They're my
You're not
friends.
wrong. It's weirdly antecedent to it because this is a voice that's in Rand's head that speaks second person to him like, Joe, you're gay. You're dumb. You got a weird looking penis. You want to fuck that guy Jono, don't you? You want to. By the way, it's Jono saying this. But no, it's not. You just fuck me. I mean, you fuck. Like, it's way second person and then snarky
Rand's
laughter.
second person voice is super homophobic.
I agree.
Technically, he's just gay. I mean,
That's true. Yeah. He's just homosexual. He's not homophobic. He's homosexual.
anyway, so it just makes me kind of like, Jordan's an odd man. Like, there's a lot of, it's not just a, like, because there's times I doubt myself.
But you don't speak to yourself.
Second person.
Yeah.
It's not like, God damn, John, you are so stupid. You've got that
I mean, I do that out loud sometimes.
Yeah, well, you would.
But I think it's just Luce Theron talking through, like, the voice box. For
And
me.
also because of your frozen time in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. Austin.
Oh, I thought you were going with Captain America. I was going to be very flattered.
Wrong. Go to Austin Powers. Way better movie.
It's to be debated.
No, it's not. I already won. Moving on. So, Paranoid Matt time. God damn, I hate him. It's kind of tough.
It's tough reading this, but at the same time, you know he has the dagger, so is it really, like... Is it upsetting because he has the dagger and you know what's happening, or is it upsetting because he's...
It remains hard to read Matt in the first two books knowing how much you like him for the rest of the series.
I would tell him.
Yeah, is it that? Like, is it, like, hindsight that it's annoying, or is it, like, in the moment that it's annoying, or
Both.
is it because of hindsight that it's okay?
It's both.
It was annoying in the moment too, and very obvious.
Yeah, it's very obvious. It's A and B and not C. To your point,
Okay.
Jim. It's very tough to read him because you're just kind
Because
of
the more I read it, the more I am on C. Like, I'm more on, like, on hindsight,
it's
I'm like,
okay.
it's fine, he's crazy, because he got the dagger. And I move on with my life.
He's a dumb fuck because he's got the dagger.
I mean, it pisses me off and I get upset, but it's like,
doesn't-
but at the same time, it's not him.
It is him because he grabbed the
It's
damn
not
thing.
him.
He was told how to abandon it. He was told all this.
The millisecond he picked that thing up, it fucking poisoned his
This
brain.
didn't happen to Matt because he's Matt.
I'm with Tom.
Okay.
Which is
All right, fair enough. Okay, moving on.
anyway.
I mean, it all worked out.
It worked
Everything
out.
does
Yeah,
this guy.
well, luckily. But
Every
yeah,
day.
I agree with you, yeah.
You sexy, Tom, Matt. That's what they say. So, as Tom alluded to, we find Elsie Grinwell's dad's farm.
Just else. There's no Elsie.
So Rand takes off his shirt. He's working. She's sitting there chewing on her pigtails, diddling herself over the fucking door.
Whoa, what?
It's in the book.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So
remember
Matt's just laughing about it, and then they go
He's
back.
just giggling about somebody diddling themselves while Rand's shirtless chopping wood.
Rand actually puts his shirt on after she finishes. He didn't want her to come twice. He's like, well, that's, say something for me.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so they go inside, if you know what I mean. And Matt's juggling for children. Rand's paying the skin flute.
Yeah, they pay for their supper with joyous tales and juggling and some sheep herding lullabies
Yeah. Really,
via the skin flute.
it's just like a trendy band, like anything, just getting women wet and trying to leave for the road.
How much time do you think they're going to spend on this in the show?
I hope it's weeks. Just like 8 episodes.
I mean,
in a
based
row.
on what we know from the show thus far,
8 minutes.
it seems like this is going to be real fast. Like, they're going to be like, they might not even...
GFC's tramps out there.
Yeah, and then they're just going to be like, and there's Camelot. Like, it's going to be like... I feel like it's going to be nothing. I feel like if I see one thing that happens to them on the Camelot Road, all I really want to see is Samuel Hake.
And I just want to see them just sleeping in shrubs.
Yeah, just pushing each other into the bushes, you know?
Yeah, just like kind of like
laughing.
hiding, and that's it.
Just laughing about water. Pushing each other into bushes.
Just turning sexual.
Yeah.
So,
And then suddenly Samuel Hake's there.
can I ask you a question?
Go on, yeah.
So the parents apparently sleep separately.
So the parents, apparently?
The parents apparently.
Yeah.
Mother and father apparently sleep separately. Mm-hmm. And Elsie...
And the rest of everyone?
Elsie
Else.
E. Is invited to sleep with her mother.
And she declines. Because there's some sexy men on her farm.
She should decline.
Yeah.
Should we be concerned that Else is being molested by her mother?
I think that's
absolutely.
That's exactly where I was going here. Because clearly,
and then her trauma from being molested by her parents is what makes her want to.
Drives her into the arms of anyone that comes along in the hopes of getting married and moving off the farm.
Anyone.
Literally ends up at the White Tower. Becomes
she's a truly tragic figure.
Yeah,
I agree.
Part of a
she travels over the Swiss Alps, escapes the Nazis, and then she ends up at the White Tower, which, as we all know, is in Vermont.
Wait,
you need to check out
is the White Tower at the Von Trapp Family Lodge in Vermont?
That's correct. It's a sanctuary, Tom.
I'm way more into these books than I used to be. Which also, by the way, previously was a lot.
Oh, you went from like 100 to like 102. I got you.
Yeah,
it's a little more amped up.
So, their plan, by the way, is to play musical instruments and to juggle in every village they can every night.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hope no fade's gonna guess.
Because God knows Matt will not sell that dagger.
Well,
Joe, what's he gonna sell it for? Chickens?
Yeah. Chickens? What do you want me to do? Just
you sell it for eggs, Tom, like the Bone novels.
Smart. No.
How many eggs? A billion?
1,000 eggs, and then you go to the next village, and they also use eggs as currency, and therefore you have room to stay.
400 chickens, which is 8 rooms.
I'll give you 20 eggs.
Deal.
For a room for the night. Done. See?
20 eggs? You got ripped off, bro.
Do you want to be hit by 20 eggs on your fucking door? No. Spend the night here.
That's a lot of cleaning.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's going to take me at least an hour.
So their plan is to, of course, be unobtrusive and to play every night at every inn they can. With a giant 6'6" ginger and a guy named Matt who stares sideways at everything.
Yeah.
So they'll never be seen. Can we talk about a weird question to me?
What was the chapter summary of this? When does it end?
It's ending right now.
Okay.
How many times they keep getting rides from drunk people who just pass out that are trying to go home? They're drunk farmers. Is that a weird niche way of getting rides?
It's just a little weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the only ones that give rides.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the 70s, Jono. You just can't put out your thumb and get a ride anywhere you want. People know that there are murderers now. It's the 80s. You're a little more careful. People still pick up hitchers.
This is a post-DUI society, though? Like, I don't want to go home. I'm too fucked up. So they're pass out.
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
I feel like
you gotta wait for one farmer to smash into one kid and kill him, and then Mothers Against Drunk Driving is gonna pop up, and that's when we're in trouble.
Fucking mad, taking them all down.
Can't even just drive on the road, drunk, drinking whiskey with your wheels on fire,
crushed it. Crushed it out. He just took my analogy home, and it was perfect. Now, what from these chapters, gentlemen, do you want to see in the show itself?
You want to hear? Wait, whoa! Do you want my answer?
Yeah.
Else Grinwell's pussy.
Well, I'm sorry I said yes to that so enthusiastically.
I'm not.
I'm not. It was a fun answer. I think
if there's just a weird. There's one just giant pussy pick.
No, what I want to see? Farmer's daughter porn.
Honestly, I'm kidding. Besides that, you know what I want to see? Else Grinwell's kids.
So the same thing. So back to the same thing.
No. That's way different, you fucking dick.
Even kids and pussy are the same thing. How do you even have a baby?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm with Tom.
Here's the answer. Don't know. Don't know if it's mine.
It took a lot of time. I was not in the wrong space for a while. I'll tell you what.
I mean, I think these 4 chapters could be boiled down in the television show to almost nothing. Like Nynaeve chapter, almost nothing. It's like they show up at White Bridge, they move on. It's 2 seconds.
No, I want to be terrified by the birds.
Yeah, but how? But the bird. So what is that? 29:30. 29:30 could be 10 minutes of a show. Not even.
I feel like the birds are the most important. Getting into White Bridge and we didn't even really talk about this part. White Bridge is the fact that Tom Ireland escaped one way.
We're gonna be super pumped when Hopper attacks his White Cloaks and then gets put down and Perrin goes out and fucking murders some people.
Tom, did you see? I mean, I talked to Jono about this, but did you see that leaked footage of a husky-looking dog leaping off a table and jumping onto a guy with a white cloak?
I did not.
So there's some bootleg footage of somebody off the set or something. And I reiterate, we won't talk about stuff unless it's sent from Juan on Prime or whatever. But at the same time, if 1,000 jillion people have seen it online, who gives a fuck anymore?
Obviously, we have integrity.
Should I go back to the stairwell and yell spoilers?
Yeah, I mean, no. It's just a clue to what they're filming on set. So they showed a dog, the camera was set up on a track and then the camera panned but if someone was filming it clearly on a phone or something behind that, and the dog was running along a table and leapt off the table and jumped onto a guy with a white cloak. So clearly that's the wolves attacking a white cloak scene with Perrin and stuff, and I'm just so excited on many levels, knowing full well that maybe due to forced perspective and or CGI they're gonna make that dog look more like a wolf, and then obviously
it was a Bashaw.
It's just the fact that they're showing a wolf jumping onto a guy wearing a white cloak. You're fuck yes! So excited.
Do you think that they were filming 1 and 2 simultaneously, which it seems kind of like they were?
You mean book 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
Yes.
Season 1 and 2. That they might be
No.
The answer is no for that.
No, I don't think they're filming season 1 and 2.
They've already talked about the fact that they had writers going back for season 2 about 2 months ago.
Well, that doesn't mean they couldn't film a scene from season 2, but I don't think they've written season 2 yet, Tom.
No. All right. So my question is, do you think it's conceivable they might be done filming season 1?
Oh, currently.
Because everyone stopped filming. Do you think it could still come out, or are we just?
Oh no, I don't think so. No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
If we were further into the summer, if we were 3 months from now, I'd say yes.
So, again, something I talked about with Jono, but you weren't on the phone or on that episode. But and we can talk about it more on a Patreon episode in depth because I didn't cover it in depth with Jono either. But I saw a thing where it was a breakdown of Amazon shows, and it was Jack Ryan started filming at this date and stopped filming at this date, and the trailer came out at this date, and then the season started at this date, and so on and so on and so on for The Boys and Carnival Row or whatever Amazon show we're discussing. But it had a bunch of examples. But it showed that the Wheel of Time was most of those shows filmed for a 6-month period. And then, the trailer came out X amount of months later, and then the show came out X amount of months later.
You said you're not going to do the math, but you're doing it.
I'm not. I'm throwing in a lot of variables here that don't add up. Anyway, the key is that the Wheel of Time was filming season 1 just season 1 for 9 months as opposed to 6, like most of their shows. And it just kind of shows that clearly they're spending a little bit more time on this, and they're spending a little bit more money on this in terms of some of their other shows they have going on.
Yeah, the time.
So I don't think they're filming season 2 yet. Is what I'm trying to say. I think it's still season 1. I think season 1 is definitely going to contain some of book 1 and 2, if not all. I don't know.
And book 12.
But yeah, I think it's still season 1 that they're working on. And when they halted production, I'm assuming they were still doing season 1.
I agree.
But we can go. I'll pull up that picture and we can go into that on a Patreon episode or something.
I want to go into Utah.
Yeah. How do you guys think the steading is going to? What are they going to do visually?
I feel like there's going to be almost a misty, not misty, but kind of
a ripple.
Yeah.
You don't need a mist or ripple in the first few books because it's winter. An endless winter.
I mean, you could just literally have them shiver.
Then you can just be you
don't need a visual effect.
It can be spring or normal.
I feel like
almost like when you cross the Green Man's land.
Well, the parent did mention that there was greener grass and shoots were coming out and
but
it was
by
less dead.
10%. It's not.
Yeah, no, not a lot. No, I know, but just enough to where I don't know, maybe as they go closer in and they're near Hawkwing's Eye and they're camping, maybe everything's a little greener.
Yeah, You can make it look a little nicer and put make all the actors sigh.
I was really talking about just literally entering the setting. Like, do you think there's going to be a visual effect there? Do you think
I think there's a visual effect because I think there's a visual effect.
I suppose they could do a ripple effect, like Starlight.
Starlight? The movie?
Starlight the movie.
The actor? I suppose Jackie Gleason is the Secretary of State.
So that's tWoTcast for this week. If you have any comments or questions, the best way to find us is on Twitter @tWoTcast.
It's your turn, Jono.
Listen wherever you get your podcasts. You can email us, twotcast@gmail.com. I didn't fuck that up.
Good job. We're on Patreon now. That's patreon.com/tWoTcast. If you enjoy the show, help us out and give us $1 or more. And of course, thank you to all our current patrons.
tWoTcast theme song brought to you by Taffy Bennington at Sing with Taffy.
Bennington!
At Sing with Taffy on Twitter and Anarchy101 on YouTube.
Also, we finally started our Discord. And the link to that is obnoxious to say out loud, so just shoot to our Twitter profile and click on it. It's there.
By the way, Discord is different from Dick Hard. Different website.
Dick Hard and Discord are very different things.
Same people, though.
That being said, the link to both tWoTcast areas on Dick Hard and Discord are both on our Twitter profile.
That's Tom O'Hara /Dick Hard. Jesus Christ! Damn it!
That's fucking horrible.
Sounds like Joe's kid. Violet over there. Is he in your house?
Yeah.
Join us next week for the Wheel of Time Book 1, The Eye of the World, Part 9, covering chapters 32 through 34. You've been listening to Jono.
Jono!
Yo.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
I'm Tom City Man.
Alright, everyone shut the f*** up.
Kill a child.
Podcast, explicit and
I live in a
freaking
haunted
rated.
Who's strangling?
John is the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's a